Hi, my name is Shanti Kumar V. You can search my name in the internet, and otherwise you can go to these links. You will get to know the my blogs, videos, that kind of stuff. The purpose of this video is why do we need to have multi-cloud skills in the current market or future market. Let us analyze it first, then we will go through what I am offering also to the working IT professionals globally. Basically, you take any past infrastructure, traditional infrastructure, we used many technologies from scripting to the high level languages, from high level language to the object oriented language, then configuration files, then multiple operating systems, then multiple networks. So many ways we used it. Even if you take some of the top notch clients, financial clients, top 100 or top 50 clients, they have their offshore development centers in multiple countries. One of the preferred country was in India. So in India also they have developed offshore development centers using the VPN connection, such kind of things. Now when cloud came into the picture, that entire infrastructure can be created in cloud and it can be safeguarded by the cloud vendors by following some standards, security standards also, and processes also. So with that, what happens? Almost 40 to 60% costs can be saved for maintaining the infrastructure or creating the infrastructure, such kind of things. Then later on, what happened? When cloud came into that, they are supposed to move all those infrastructure into cloud. If they want to move that existing infrastructure into cloud, they need to analyze the current infrastructure. Many years back, maybe 15-20 years back, they have created that kind of networks, that kind of servers, that kind of routers, switches, so many network components they have done it. Apart from that, they have created database servers. They have created a 3-tier architecture kind of setup for every small application to the large applications. And they have used middlewares also. And they have connected to customer, business to business, C2B, B2C, such kind of connectivities through internet with APIs. So all those things they need to establish in cloud. If you want to work for this kind of transition projects, the basic requirement is you need to understand the traditional infrastructure and at the same time how this can be mapped to the cloud infrastructure. If we take top-notch cloud vendors, we have AWS, Azure, Google platform, right? So all these three vendors are very popular for offering the competitive bidding, competitive rates for different services. With reference to that approach, many clients are attracted to convert their systems into either Azure to AWS or AWS to Azure or GCP, such kind of things. Depends on their offers, what they got it for number of years contract. So in such case, what happens? Their employees are mandated to have these skills. And nowadays, if you observe in any of the new or modern technology adopted companies, they don't bother anything about the resources. Just they ask, okay, we are doing this one, you get ready for that. If required 1 or 2 days training or 4 days or 5 days training, they will give. They don't mold you for their requirement, for their project setup. You are responsible to do it. You will be given 1 month or 2 months time to roll that particular builds or projects into cloud setup. So what you are supposed to do? You are supposed to understand the traditional infrastructure and do the gap analysis with the cloud services. Then later on you need to plan it, you need to design the architecture plan, such kind of things need to be done. If anybody who worked in any past roles, you take any kind of role, project manager, delivery managers, network managers, QA managers, test managers, ITSM managers, service delivery managers, any kind of role you take it, change managers, including that. Many people, they are not aware the entire infrastructure setup, or they don't understand even if they work with the new setup, new environments. So it takes longer time for them. Otherwise, one network administrator or one network manager need to supply the clear pictures of the network diagrams and what servers they have, how it is occupied, what is the current setup, such kind of things. Even if you see in the current setup, in the traditional setup, there are a lot of schedulers, there are a lot of load balancers, and whenever the e-commerce sites are occupied with more peak hours, non-peak hours, they are going to increase the network size. Whereas in the cloud, we have auto scaling kind of features in every cloud vendor services, and it is very easy to increase that capacity. But in traditional system, they need to reserve particular networks to release them when our load comes from the users by having a proper setup, by having the replica of the databases. So all these activities, many people don't understand that, but they have been nominated as cloud architect or cloud engineers or DevOps architect or DevOps engineers. But how they are going to learn it? Obviously, timely they are going to learn, but where is the time for them? First of all, these all projects are meant to save the cost for the organization, for the client. So when organization is looking for savings on the cost of the current infrastructure, they have given the deadlines. Within the deadlines, how these guys are going to cope up for activities delivery? No, there is no chance. So failure might occur with each of them if they are lacking these skills. So in such case, what they need to do? They need to learn from the experienced people who worked in the past in this kind of environments, infrastructure, such kind of things. So here is the offering. I am doing it for the working professionals, global working professionals. Anytime you are open to attend these courses at your convenient timings. And the current idea, I would like to present these points. Let us understand these things, what I want to convey to you guys. The current IT industry is looking for multi-cloud skills, as I discussed it, when they want to migrate into different cloud services, or they want to have multi-cloud setup in the infrastructure, cloud infrastructure. Obviously, the resource need to learn multi-cloud skills and transform those infrastructure setup into different cloud areas wherever the cost is going to be less for the employer. If you take second point, AWS, Azure and GCP have demanding skills in the global market. Obviously, because these three are the top-notch vendors in the cloud services, and they are competitively building their new services in thousands of the services. If you take AWS, as on today, maybe they might be having more than 1700 services. Similarly, Azure also have got many services. GCP also has got many services, and they are accelerating to add some more stuff into the new services also. So what happens when this demand is there? Skill shortage is going to happen shortly in the global IT market as per the market news. You see any kind of IT related sites, news sites, technology sites, they are writing this kind of comments. So it means after 1 year or after 6 months, hectic demand will be there for multi-cloud skills oriented people. So many clients are migrating from Azure to AWS to Azure and vice versa as per the costing offered by the cloud vendors. Let us say today, your employer might be having AWS setup. They have done it 5 years or 4 years back. Now Azure has come and they are offering with cheaper rate for next 7 years or more than 5 years. Then what happens? The client is going to opt for that option because cost savings is important for them. So another thing is if they offer that kind of contract, they will give free services in many areas. You take any technology related things like load balancers usage, auto scale usage, Route 53, networking, such kind of things. If they give free of cost, what happens? The total cost of cost savings are going to be increased. Then maximum return on investment will be achieved by the employer. So at that time, if they want to do these kind of conversions across the cloud platforms, they need to have multi-cloud skilled senior people. So fourth point, if you see, many clients having cloud APIs across the three major cloud services vendors for their cost savings. Because one time I might use some servers in Azure, another time I can use some other servers in AWS. These two servers will talk each of them as per the application interfacing concerned in traditional setup. You take any kind of things like e-commerce site. In e-commerce, you have a shopping cart, you have order management, you have booking, creating cart, and connecting to the gateway, payment gateways. Then later on, you can also track the shipment and closer, feedback, all these things. All these modules, it doesn't mean it is going to be there in 3-tier architecture or single tier or something like that. They might have planned it different warehouses to pull that information. You take items itself. When you search in the shopping cart for creating shopping cart, that items are stored in the inventory order management system. That order management system is separate from other systems or e-commerce system. Then e-commerce system need to have interfacing with that system, but that system might be executing in Azure or AWS, but this e-commerce site might have been prepared in GCP or AWS or Azure. In such cases, how are you going to work with that modifications of the infrastructure? Because in cloud, every time when you get the build, you need to use the DevOps process for deployment purpose. At the same time, you need to create new environment for testing purpose, then production purpose. Maybe if you are going to use containers, yes, obviously containerization is very popular one and very cost savings for and effective solution also. So in such cases, how you are going to cope up, you need to learn all these things. So now many clients having cloud APIs across the three major cloud services vendors for their cost savings. So because of this cost savings only, they are opting APIs. From one application to another application, the cloud services can be different. Cloud vendor can be different, but we have peering, network peering kind of thing is there. From one account to another account. From that account, you will get the information. From this account, you will be passing the information. For systems operation purposes, like in the traditional system, how we had, let us say, in offshore, one ODC has one application, another ODC has another application in offshore. These two ODCs can be connected through the VPN networks, and applications can be executed on web browsers. So similar setup can be done using the multi-cloud setup also. So fifth point, if you see, the working IT professionals will be asked by the employers to have multi-cloud skills along with DevOps skills, of course, for their cloud transitions or maintenance. Yes, when they have this kind of environment, this is essential for the employer to look for the employee skills also. Who has these multi-cloud skills? Yes, they are going to be retained, they are going to be offered with higher CTC comparatively with other guys. That is damn sure for that is going to happen in the industry. It is not equalized salary for a particular role or guy. If I have multi skills, if you have two skills in two cloud services, then who is going to be offered higher offer? Yes, obviously me will be getting the more offer than you because of the differences of the skills. So these are the points one need to understand it. Then what I am going to serve for you, what I am going to offer, and to make you as a competent cloud professional and DevOps professional also in the multi-cloud skills. So attend the multi-cloud project oriented coaching from infra experienced IT professionals, and you can Google my name, Shanti Kumar V. You will get my LinkedIn profile. You can see all of my projects are very detailed resume is there, and go through from 1986 onwards till today. So 30 plus years experience I have spent in the IT field so far, with my around 15 years overseas experience in half a dozen countries with IT companies. So second point is you will be doing the project tasks like a project team member to learn the multi-cloud skills in parallel to your working IT role by spending weekly some hours. Now the funda here is it is not a training, it is a coaching. Coaching is advanced level than the training. One need to understand that because typically the guys are coming to me, they're comparing with typical trainings. It can be classroom or online, but training concept is different, coaching concept is different. Can you compare with IIT JEE coaching and state level PUC after PUC or after 12th standard engineering or medical entrances? There is a lot of difference. Such kind of differences are there from the training to the coaching. So here what I am going to do, I am going to take some kind of live scenarios, live examples in the infra setup. Then I am going to discuss with you. Then you are going to work with that kind of setup scenarios or proof of concepts. Many clients, what they are doing, they are asking the IT services center of excellence people to demonstrate the proof of concept, what the guys knows in the company. In the earlier days, if you see 20 years back, they used to ask BI skills demonstration, testing skills demonstration, SAP skills demonstration through Center of Excellence services. What they used to do, they used to develop some small projects and give a demo to the clients. The same thing is going on here, unfortunately or fortunately, to evaluate the resources of that company, whether that company is having competency or not. But if you are not having that kind of situation in the company who has mentors and coaches to mold you as a competent cloud professional in front of the client managers, you are most welcome to come for this coaching and take these kind of opportunities to speed up your career facing, in the interviews facing or competent with the client requirements. So the second point is you will be doing these kind of things in parallel to your working hours. Weekly some hours will identify and you will be given some kind of activity. Assume that is the activity, then you are going to work offline with me to prove that is the project, I can do it, you are going to prove it. So, and you can very well use these POC solutions in your job role also to do yourself or to educate your teams to get the right delivery without over cost on the monthly cloud services billing to the employer or client. Take a scenario here. In reality, what is happening? If you are working as a cloud architect, you are not aware many of the infra setup. Maybe because of your background is different. You might have vertically grown in that line. Okay, now you converted into cloud architect role after having training all that stuff. Now your role is to get those things. If you want to get that solutions, you don't have any past experiences to create that setup. So here what happens, let us say one setup you are doing it, then that setup solutions you are going to develop like a development project with the design steps, with planning steps. Then later on you are going to execute offline and check your steps, test your steps and come for demonstration also along with other team members. Then it is going to be project activity where you will be giving demos and you will be fulfilling your confidence with that solutions. Then you will be asked some questions also, if any customization needed, what you are going to do and how it is going to be implemented it in such case. So such kind of enhancements also is possible it. So you can see some of the POCs where my team members have done it, coaching team members in the past under this Facebook videos list. So, and you can very well use these POCs in the projects for yourself or educate your team members. Many team members are not aware. You take any freshers. In India, 40 to 60% of the companies, they are using freshers who have undergone trainings in cloud services. But those guys, they don't understand the infra setup. Then it is your responsibility as an experienced person to coach them offline and make them confident to create their project activities without creating additional billing to the client, unnecessary billing. Maybe that is a defect in the cloud implementation also, if you are creating additional resources which is not required also, that shows incapability of the cloud architect or cloud manager in front of the client or in front of the IT company. So that can be controlled very well with this coaching. Then this coaching will make you stronger on understanding the traditional infrastructure and plan for multi-cloud conversions and maintenance. So obviously traditional infrastructure, we are going to discuss it, then later on we're going to set up that in the cloud, and you are going to plan for multi-cloud conversions and maintenance. Let us say we will be taking one cloud service and we'll take some important things, critical things, and we'll be building them. Then later on the same POC can be converted, can be planned for other cloud services, and it can be converted there also. It can be proved it. It means you have done the same POC in two or more than two cloud services where competently you can demonstrate to your company or client kind of thing. Then at the same time you will also be able to settle in the new or demanding multi-cloud roles faster with this coaching. Obviously in the coming days in future, multi-cloud skills are the hot cake in the global market. There is going to be dryness in the market where people will not be aware much on the multi-cloud skills. So if you start learning now onwards, it might take some 4 months or more than 4 months time. Yes, obviously you will be wearing that kind of shoes hat to demonstrate yourself in the market. So for some of the POCs, visit the URLs given in the above, these two URLs, and this is for global working IT professionals only, please, because I get a lot of calls from non-IT professionals. Their desire is they wanted to jump into the cloud architect or cloud professional role. Obviously there is no objection, but I want to work with the working professionals only who has more years of experience in the IT, because when I talk about my experiences and converting them into your setup, our conversation will be matching, your understanding will be matching for that design purpose. So if non-IT guy is there, it is very highly difficult for me to explain from the alphabets to that level. So that's the reason I want to take the working IT professionals only for this coaching. And thanks for watching this, and if you have any questions, you please come through watching these things and come to my Facebook, or there is a LinkedIn URL also available through my profile. You Google it, with that you will get my profile and connect me in LinkedIn. Then you can write your introduction, what you are looking for honestly, and if you are really ethically want to do this kind of competency building in you are most welcome to come back. So thanks for watching, and I appreciate, and good luck in your cloud and DevOps career globally.